avocado.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
Hummus.
Hummus. Did you get salad?
I got the Greek.
Greek salad. Okay.
Greek salad. Greek salad. No bell peppers.
No bell
Yes,
peppers.
thank you.
Okay, so She Can, our mission is to help women become leaders, build women's leadership in post-conflict countries. So we're in Rwanda and Cambodia and Liberia. And one of the tools we use is we help women get the credentials they need in order to be a leader. So we find women we think can be leaders, and we help them by winning a U.S. college scholarship, and then we also help them make sure that they come home and get on the right path toward becoming a change agent at home. Because we believe that if women were involved in the decision making in governments and businesses and organizations, change would happen, and things, for people in general, especially women, would be better. Okay, and so the program we would. Myra is at, there's several stages to being accepted. So she would be in a SAT class, and she'd have to do a community service project, and in June we make our final decision. And if she's selected, she'll work with a team of mentors that would be assigned to her from America, mostly women, like Tanya, to apply for a college scholarship. It takes a lot of work to apply, and then if she wins the scholarship, she would know in December, and then she would come to America in August
2021.
2021.
August.
A year and a half.
And we 2021.
Yeah, so next year.
Yeah. And we actually pray that it can work, because the organization we part of is our dream to see them being educated the best way, so that they can be able to help the country at large. Not only themselves, but knowing that they are come from a background where they are getting an education, they can be able to share that blessing with other people in the community and in this country.
To come home and bring the education and the ideas and the exposure back.
Yeah.
And help everybody do better, have a better life, especially women. So,
or before you continue, just please drink your drinks.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
drink your drink.
Let them get
I might get a
warm.
latte.
Yeah.
Does anybody want a latte?
I'm good. Thank you.
Okay.
Did we do introductions already?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we maybe do some introductions? Unless I missed them when I was up.
No.
Okay.
You did. Medium. So I'm the executive director and the founder, so I oversee the program as well as the fundraising side and the vision of the organization.
And I'm Grace. I'm the program coordinator at She Can. I've been with the organization a little over 2 years now, and my role is to help with all the logistics of the scholar program, from recruiting, which is why we're here in Liberia right now, while the scholars are in university and through graduation.
And I'm Madison. I'm the program manager for She Can. So I work with both Barbara and Grace to support all of the students in our program, and also to help train up the mentors in our program to support the scholars.
And I'm Tanya. So as I said, I'm a mentor to one of our first 4 Liberian scholars to go to the United States for a college scholarship through She Can. So my mentee is Janet Cece, who you've met a couple of times, I think, through this process. And so I'm here to help with the recruiting, but also represent our mentors team.
I'm a teacher to a brother to Myra.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what do you do? Do you work? Are you in school?
In school,
In
a
school.
student.
Oh, what school are you in?
Adventist University.
The one everyone goes to?
Yes.
Up the road? Okay.
No, the one that we all go to. It's in Margibi, right?
Yeah.
In Maggie.
Okay.
And that's the college?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm reading public health.
Oh, awesome. Nice to meet you.
Great.
So do
My
you
name
live
is
together or in the same? You were telling me about where you live. You guys live in the same area.
Yeah, they live in the same place.
Okay. Great.
I'm Brother John Verity. I'm the program coordinator for the orphanage in Wamah,
Yeah.
where we have 44 children in the orphanage home, where Myra and Abaja are from, and 6 of them are personally at the university, and then we always escorting her to come for she camp program. But when we come, we always stay out.
Yeah.
Waiting.
So we.
Yeah, so it's different.
Well, usually we meet with the parents.
Yeah.
So that's good. Okay, keep
So-
going.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
I'm the uncle today.
Yeah.
When we go to the family side,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the uncle today.
Yeah.
Love it.
And do you stay in Margidi as well, or are you
No,
in Banga?
Bong County. I
Okay,
in
you're
Banga.
Okay.
I in Banga.
Yeah.
Yes.
How long have you worked with them?
How long I work
How
with
long have you been with them?
them? I've been with Myra then since 2009.
Oh, a long time.
Were with the organization before they came in, because we were preparing a place before they can come in.
Okay.
So yeah, I stayed there almost 14 years.
Wow.
Okay, so I'll tell you a little bit more about She Can, and then we'll hear more about the orphanage and Myra. So, Myra is being selected, so we haven't made our final decisions. Okay, so this is sort of a little bit of the vetting process that we're in, and so if we decide that she's right for the program, she'll start in an SAT class. Do you know what the SAT is?
No.
So every student who goes to college in the U.S., no matter what country, the Americans and from China or Nigeria, you have to take an exam called the SAT, and I don't even know what that stands for anymore. It's the SAT.
Scholastic Aptitude Test.
So they give it on a certain day all over the world. Okay, maybe every 2 months, and that helps the schools evaluate if the students have the academic ability to make it on their school. So every student takes a class because their questions are hard and you have to kind of understand the test. And so we fund a class in Monrovia for it's 2 months, is it?
It's 4 months. Well,
4
we'll take
months?
it twice. It's
It's about 4 months
3 months.
of studying for the exam. And then she would have a tutor also, and preparing, and she would take the exam 2 times. You can take it several times. You know, they get better at it. It's a timed test. You know, like the WIAC is it's like the WIAC, okay, but it's called the SAT. And so she would be doing that, and because we're interested in finding potential leaders, we also have these scholars do a community service project that they come up with a problem, they create a proposal, we approve it, then they do the project, and then they write us a report. And it's part of us understanding their potential. And then so that would all happen, and in June we would decide if she's right or not. So she would be in a class with maybe 7 or 8 other young women, and we would decide which ones are going to move to the next stage. And what that is that then each of those students get a team of mentors. So Tanya is a mentor. 5, mostly women. We have a few men, but it's mostly women. And they're living in the United States. And so over Skype or Zoom or WhatsApp, they help her with all the stages of the college application process. And that happens over the summer. So like Tanya, do you want to tell them how you helped Janet?
Sure. So we have a team of 5 mentors, and we met Janet for the first time in July over Skype, as Barb said, and so online, right? We had video conversations and a lot of text, WhatsApp, and emails, and we got to know her, and we helped her write her essays and fill out the forms, which includes financial information about her family. And so it was about a 4-month process from July July, August, September, October to complete the whole application with a lot of support from the She Can team. They're very expert at this. And then November 1st, the application went in, and 6 weeks later, the notification came to Janet that she had been accepted to Lafayette College in Pennsylvania. So this is really just the beginning of the mentor journey. This is the application process, but we'll be with her for 5 years. The same group of 5 mentors. I think we'll be with her for a lifetime, but it's a 5-year formal program where we help her get into college and get all the way through graduation and into a job back home in Liberia, in her home country. So a lot of support. We're kind of like her aunties, we think of ourselves, right? We're not her teachers, we're not her parents, but we're like her aunties who can help make sure everything runs smoothly and direct her to resources. If she has a problem or she needs help with anything, she can call us first.
Okay.
So then she would come to America in August. The mentors would greet her and help her get settled in America and really kind of be there, because it's hard, you know, if she's like, oh, I'm so homesick, you know, they would be the ones to think, you're gonna be fine. Or if academically, maybe she's not doing well in a class, they would advise her on what to do. It's kind of like an extended family. They don't live in the same city because we don't know what school she's going to get into when we give them the mentors. So they live maybe a plane ride away.
But she'll come stay with us
on vacation.
right, in our homes. So you're going to say that? Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm so happy when you jump in.
Yeah,
Don't
so
worry.
in
I'm
our
just,
homes when she first
done it
arrives.
so many times, I can't even remember what I said.
When she first arrives, there'll be a 2-3 week period of just adjustment to life in the United States, kind of like our personal orientation, like what you need to know about grocery shopping or, you know, how things work, customs and that type of thing before she arrives at school. And then there will be orientation at school to help her learn about the school itself and, you know, where to find things and how to do things. And then during holiday periods, the mentors bring the students back to their homes so they have a place to go. They don't stay at school over Christmas, for example, or other holidays. So very supportive relationship.
And so the way the finances would work is the colleges, they provide the tuition and the living. So room, we call it room and board. Like she would live in a dormitory and she would eat in a cafeteria, and the college pays for that. But there's all these other costs, like she has to get a passport and she has to have a flight and a computer and winter clothes because it's going to be cold, and health insurance and books. So we pay for those things. Okay. The things that the scholars are responsible for is while she's here in Liberia going to the SAT course, the transport.
It's gonna be at Smart Liberia. Do you know where Smart Liberia is?
Smart?
Okay. It's in Singapore.
Yeah, smart.
Smart Liberia.
Exactly.
You know
Okay.
Smart?
Yeah.
Yeah, smart.
Yeah.
That's where the SAT class is going to be.
Transport to
So she
Smart.
would need to
Yeah.
get there 3 days a week and be there all day.
Okay.
And the scholars are responsible for funding that. Would that be a problem?
Oh, no.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
3
And
days a
lunch?
week.
3 days a week.
3 days a
And
week.
we have to transport her?
Well, I mean, someone has to get. She has to get herself there.
Okay.
We're not gonna get the girls around Liberia.
We leave on Sunday.
Yeah.
We're gonna go.
Okay.
We don't have anyone on the ground except one person who's part-time.
Okay.
So all the girls have to figure out how to get to Smart 3 days a week and home again.
Yeah.
That's what, you know, so this would be the contribution that the family, like we want to make clear what money it's going to cost for her to be in the program.
Yeah.
So transport to Smart Liberia and back. And you're saying that would be okay, or that's something you could handle? Can you handle that, or would that be a burden?
Yeah.
Okay. And then,
It's okay.
None of the other girls live in Margibi, but a lot of them do live in like Painesville. So a lot of them will be coming from Monroe.
or maybe you know someone you could live with who's here in Monrovia?
But what she doing that she can stay there at a university?
It's a good question. Yes, if her classes allow for it, because it depends on the schedule a little bit. The smart classes are going to be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, all day, from the morning until evening. So we can talk more about that if you're selecting Myra, but some of the students in the past have withdrawn from a semester and then gone back the next semester once they were finished with the SAT. If it didn't work with the schedule, some of them stayed in school, but it's challenging to spend so much time sitting for the SAT, to also work on the project you'll have to do, and to do university classes. So we can talk about how that will best work for you.
What days do you go to university?
She would not be in school because at the Ashwandes University,
Yeah.
she go from Monday
Yeah.
to Friday.
Monday to Friday.
Yeah, I'm still a freshman.
Okay.
I'm still going to the SAT class.
It's every day?
She will go to the
SAT.
SAT.
Yeah, in Liberia it seems like you can take a little time off of college and then it's an opportunity.
Yeah.
So, okay, so she would need to do that, and then she'd also have to do that community service project that we talked about. And so, where was I?
You were on the finances. So
Oh, the finances,
those
right.
are the main things you would need
take
to cover.
over.
Yeah, that's what you would need to cover in Liberia. And then there are a couple other things. One is medical expenses. So we will make sure that when you're in the United States, you have health insurance. Schools in the US usually have a student health insurance plan. But the way that the health insurance system works in the US is very complicated, and it doesn't cover everything. So it will cover a big percentage of your medical expenses, but there will be a small percentage that you would need to cover. So when you're here in Liberia, before you even go to the US, we will pay for you to get your eyes checked, your teeth checked, and like a general medical assessment. But if there's something, like if you need glasses, for example, we don't fund that. So we would ask that the organization, maybe some of our kids can fund that, because it's going to be much cheaper, more inexpensive to do those things here in Liberia before you leave than it will be to do them in the United States, just with the way our health system works. It's quite expensive. For example, we've had students in Cambodia who had like a small cavity. Do you know what a cavity is? A little hole. Yeah. And they said it's not a big deal. Don't worry about it. And then she came to the United States. It got worse, and it was like $1,000 bill, US dollars. So we recommend doing all of that here, and that's another expense that we don't necessarily cover. And then when you get to the United States, just take good care of yourself. Go to the doctor if you need it. But yeah, but there will probably be, if you do go to the doctor, there's usually a small fee. Like if your total bill for the visit is $100, maybe they would want you to pay $10 when you go, something like that. It's different for every plan, but you'd pay a small amount. And all of our students, to fund things like that, they work on campus. So they'll have a job at the university, maybe they work in the library a couple hours a week, or in the admissions office, or at the cafeteria, but they all work part-time to fund things like their toothpaste and going to a movie with a friend, things like that, just your personal expenses, because we'll cover things outside of it, like your books, things that are necessary for you to study. Does that make sense? Yes. So the main costs are medical expenses, medical expenses and transportation. And then because she's going to be going halfway across the world for 4 years, we also recommend saving some money to bring with you, so just for the trip and to get settled. And then if you do have a medical expense in the US, you have some small savings. So we recommend $600. I know that's a lot, but you have between now and August of 2021 to start thinking about some savings. Just bring some money with you on the plane. Don't leave with no money and get on an international flight. Okay.
But you can't go to America for 4 years without some money.
Yeah.
When you're there, you'll work like in the admissions office or in the cafeteria or the bookstore to have money to go to, buy shampoo or things, or go to the movie.
I already said that.
I think I'm getting. Okay, I'm going to say something new. I'm going to say something. Go for it. We just want to be clear. Like, let's say, Myra, you drop out of or you take a break from your college to do the SAT, and we're not saying that everyone who takes the SAT and goes to the next stage is going to make it. We just want to be extra clear that we're still vetting. So and even if you get the SAT minimum that we require and you score, that doesn't mean you're in the program. We're watching you, and we're going to pick the girls that are the strong ones. That, I mean, all of them could get picked, but we're looking for a specific kind of girl that is diligent and grateful and shows up and responds and, you know, isn't late and engages in the classroom, because we know who the schools want, and so we're watching. So this is a process, and in June we're going to say whether you're in or out. The last time we did this, we said that to everybody, but they forgot. And then when some of them didn't make it, they were really upset. And I just want to make sure you know that you could go through the whole process, and then in June we could say, you know what, you didn't make it.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Okay. We just don't want to get to June again and have people mad at us because they didn't get it. Like, this isn't, it's an opportunity, but there's a certain kind of woman that gets a $100,000 scholarship, so you have to show that to us, and we're watching to make sure. And we don't want to send someone who we don't think is going to make it over either.
Yeah.
So it isn't a sure thing. If you decide to continue, if we pick you and you decide to continue, that doesn't mean that you're going to go to the U.S.
And it's a big commitment
No.
that you're making, and we understand.
We pray. We
You
pray.
get it right, yeah.
We pray that she can make it, because from the time she been with us, she has been preparing herself mentally. Because from the home, she has been studying, and even the high school she attended, she has been studying very hard. When she come to your program and gave her the test, the public test, you will get to know that she got a brain for it. Because she, in her school, she also took part in quizzing. Debate. She always in a debate until she graduated from the Samaritan County High School.
Okay.
Yeah. So she stayed good.
How does
And
this
she's
feel to
steady.
you, what we just said? How does that, talk to us.
For me,
This is about you.
I had a faith that she can make it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad.
You don't feel bad.
Yeah.
Are you like, I want to do it?
Yes.
Or are you like, oh, I don't know?
Seriously, I want to do it, and I want to go for it. I want to be successful in it. So by God's grace, I do all I can to get there.
Okay.
So that was a lot of information. Do you have any questions about the She Can process or the She Can program? Any questions at all?
Can I please ask? They said during the SAT class we are going to be planning our program.
Your what?
The community program.
Oh, good question. Yeah, so that's happening at the same time. So you'll have the SAT prep class 3 times a week, and you'll also be doing a little time management to start your community service project. So that will run around the same time, those couple months you'll be working on that. And we'll have someone to help you with that. We have some She Can volunteers who kind of act as a guide in the program to give you feedback and suggestions. And we'll be reviewing your work as well. But yeah, that's all happening between now and June at the same time.
It's not hard. And where were you?
Good question.
It's a lot of work. So we want to know, you know,
Before you do that,
sure.
did you explain much about the commitment to return home, the impact making a living? Okay.
So this isn't about going to America and then having a life in America. This is about coming back and being a leader.
Yes.
So you would sign a long contract that says you promise to return home within 1 year of graduating. Like, your visa allows you to get work experience for a year in America, but then you are committing, like, we're going to do this for you, but what we want you to do is come back. So you have to agree that you're going to do that. It's like going into the Army. If the Army says they'll do all these things for you and you have to go to war, you have to go to war.
Yeah.
So when
Not sending you to work.
when you join She Can, you get to go to America for 4 years and have everything funded, but then you have to come back. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Did you know that before?
Yes,
Yeah.
they told me earlier.
We told you earlier. Because it's very important.
Yeah.
We believe that when women are leaders, and then there's numbers of them, then they can change the culture.
Yeah, there'll be
One
more
or
peace.
2 or 3, and there's
When
more
women
peace.
are leader, there'll be more peace.
Yeah, absolutely.
You good, you know. So this isn't about going to America and staying for 4 or 5 years and then coming back. This is about going to America, maybe staying 1 year if you can get a job for that year, which most of our scholars aren't successful at because companies don't want to hire you for 1 year, but then you have to return home. You're looking at me like, oh no, I don't want to return home.
No,
No?
no, I want to return home.
What?
This is my home. I want to come back.
You want to come back?
Yeah, if God allows me to be chosen, I want to come back and pass more knowledge to others.
What do you want to do why do you want to come back?
Because firstly, as you can see, the specifically the health sector now within our country, it's shaking so messed up. And majority of our nurses, they are not really qualified. They are not really educated on things they need to do. So, by God's grace, if God help me, if I come back, if I be successful in this and come back, and come and open some classes, like enter some medical schools and teach others on things they should know, because as I read earlier, 48% of
As
our,
what?
48% of our health workers, nurses who are qualified, only 48% is qualified. The remaining 52%, they are
don't
not
have
qualified.
any training.
Yeah, they don't have good training.
Okay, what do you want to major in?
My main aim is medical doctor, but for this chicken program,
Yeah,
I want to
you
do
can't.
nursing.
Oh, nursing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you familiar with Last Mile Health? Did I ask you this at our interview? Last Mile Health. It's an organization in Liberia. Do you know them?
Last Mile Health.
That's my help.
No.
They're an NGO operating in Liberia, and their whole mission is to bring quality health care to the last mile, the most rural
seen that?
places.
Yeah.
Have you seen that logo around? Yeah?
But we met with their new country director last week, and she was talking about how the biggest challenge is just, finding new community health workers who have the knowledge and skills to actually help people who, are 9 hours away from the nearest hospital. So we recognize it's a really big issue here. Yeah.
Can I see those people?
Oh yes.
So what we want to do now is just...
So,
Oh, go ahead. Please ask a question.
So, when she be selected before she got her document, like passport?
Yeah, so the way that process works is, if she were successful in the SAT class, she would be selected as a scholar in June, and then she would apply for a scholarship to a U.S. college in November of this year, and in December she would learn if she was accepted to the college and got a full scholarship. And then in December we would have her apply for a passport, and in like April she would apply for a visa. So that's when that part of the process starts, after she's admitted.
Okay.
Okay, so Myra, just tell us, how did you come to live in the orphanage, and what's it like, and I haven't interviewed you at all. Did we have an interview?
No.
Yes, it was with us. And Grace too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your story? And you jump in and help us understand.
Yeah.
Okay, firstly, I was at a very young age when my father died due to the effect of the war. Because my mother told me, because I didn't know what causes death, she told me during the war he was being knocked on his head by a shovel, so it affected his brain. So after the war, he was suffering it, and specifically she was unemployed. So all the little money she had to carry to hospital while we were about 6 children. Imagine that a woman who is unemployed with 6 children, a husband
She had
who was
6 children?
6 children, with a husband who is also sick, he was not able to go to work again because he was a potter. He used to make pots. Yeah. So in doing that, in suffering under him and so forth, unfortunately he didn't make it. He died. And at that time we were all below the age of 18. None of us were either in school. She was still fighting, finding a way that we enter school. As for me, since when I was little, I didn't enter school. It was only when Mr. and Mrs. Kimmel brought Save More Kids in helping children who had effect from the war, who parents died, to help them to gain hope again. So I think that was when because they worship with the Church of Christ. So after they started getting in contact with the church to find people who are in that condition, we saw my mother, who was the chosen one from my other brothers and sisters. They took me, because you know, specifically living with a woman who is unemployed. How will the children get food? All those things. Sometimes we feed your hand. For me, when I'm hungry, I faint. So at the end, sometimes we faint in your hand, cry all day long. There's no food. So in at last, God made it possible. I was chosen from among my brothers and sisters to be among.
Were you the only one picked?
Yeah.
Oh, only you went with the orphanage?
Yeah, I was the only person taken. So I was taken to cash students to be taken care of since 2009, January 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Since 2009. Since that time, it was only when they took me that I entered school. Since that time, I was 6 years of age.
Okay.
Yeah, and I started in ABC.
And do you still see your brothers and sisters?
Yes, I see them, I speak with them. Yeah, I still encourage them to go further. Because personally, I'm the only person out of high school.
That went to school?
Out of high school, but they are still trying. My two older brothers, they are in 7th grade, 8th grade. My two older brothers.
Is your mom alive?
Yeah, she's alive.
Do you see her too?
Yes, I sometimes speak with her.
How far do they live from you?
Come on, like 3 miles.
Oh, 3 miles.
Yeah.
Oh, close.
Yeah.
So you can go over there and chat her up anytime.
No, not anytime. Because you know we go to school, the school we go to, St. Martin's Catholic School, is almost close to where they live. So sometimes she comes on the campus, or sometimes when I see her around, because we are not just allowed to just go out anywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, specifically from the mission. The school is closer than where she lives. So sometimes I speak with her. If I have something, I give it to them.
If you need advice, you can figure out how to go see her and get advice, or tell her that you got she can interview or something like that, right? At least she's a part of your life. Is that? That's my question, really. Yeah.
Yes, I explain to her about some things that happen. Sometimes she asks me how's life in the fence. I tell her about God's grace, people are taking care of me. Sometimes she even comes to the fence. She comes in where we live. Yeah, sometimes she comes there with my other brothers.
Inside the fence? Is that what that means in the orphanage?
Yeah, sometimes she comes to visit.
Okay.
Yeah, she comes to visit, and she also encourages me to continue that. By God's grace, if I focus and be courageous, I'll be successful and also help them in helping my family.
Do you remember being picked to be the one child to leave the family? Do you remember that? When you were picked to go, do you remember? How old were you?
At that time I was 6.
6. Do you remember? Do you have a memory of them saying Myra, you're gonna go?
No,
going.
At that time they told my mother. So after they told my mother, they told me. Yeah, because we went to the fence, they wanted to choose between 2 persons, my other brother and I. So the paper they wrote win and lose.
Win and lose.
Yeah. So they dropped the paper. So if you choose it, and I chose the win.
Wow. Were you glad to leave? Was it a good thing or was it hard?
It was difficult, but I knew it was something better I was coming for. Yeah, it would bring at least some changes in our condition.
And then was it good to be in the orphanage?
Yeah, because out there is very difficult. Out there is very difficult.
So your other 5 brothers and sisters stayed with your mother?
Yeah, specifically someone took another child from her. So they are 4.
Okay.
One of the family members told me. So they are 4 with her.
Okay. Okay, tell us about being in the orphanage.
The orphanage home is a place that made me to gain hope again because
Made you to what?
gain hope again.
Okay.
Yeah, that I can, because as for me, I didn't believe if I would even learn or even enter school. I didn't believe it because my only thought was we're just gonna be wasting over there till death come and carry us. That's the only thought I had. But with
They'll
God,
come and carry you away.
death,
Death.
yes. Death in poverty come and carry us. But with God and the help of the orphanage home, at least I gain hope again to continue striving in school and come out of high school because, and also you know, depression, overcoming depression, so forth. Sometimes when I think of my family, I cry. I still try to continue doing the job.
Okay, what's it like living in the orphanage? Like, give us a typical day. Like, do you eat with everybody else? Do you cook?
Sleeping
Yeah.
in a
Sleeping?
dormitory.
How many people are in a bed? Like, we don't know anything. We stay in a place like this.
Very different. Very, very
Do you
different.
carry the water in? Like, what is it
Yeah,
like?
that area is fun because firstly we live in a dormitory of 8 rooms.
Okay.
Because I share a room with 5 other girls. We have a 6 in each room.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we have 44 kids.
Are they bunk beds?
Yeah, put me up and yeah.
Up and down? Okay,
Everyone
just like college.
Yeah, each person has their own beds. We don't share beds.
Okay.
Yeah, in the home we have fun and time for fetching water because we have 2 bathrooms. The boys' bathroom, the girls' bathroom.
Uh-huh.
The girls are responsible to carry water in their barrel for flushing the area when you urinate. So sometimes if we are going to fetch water, we share the buckets of water, 4 each, 4 buckets each.
Do boys carry water too?
To their bathroom, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
How many people use the bathrooms?
The boys?
Like, is it just the 5 girls and the 5 boys?
No, I said we are 44.
Yeah.
So
44?
we are 44 girls and boys.
Yeah.
44.
In 8 rooms.
No,
Yeah.
6 times
they
8.
are
Yes,
they
yeah.
are 44 in all at the home,
Yeah.
but the girls are 24,
Okay.
but they are 8 in each of their room.
Yeah.
We
Yeah?
are 6.
Six in each of their
We
room.
have 8 rooms, we have 6 in each room.
Each of them.
How many bathrooms for those 44 people?
2.
We had three camel bathroom, 3 camel bathroom, and 1 shower.
1 shower?
Yeah.
Yeah, 1 shower, 3 commodes in 1
And
bathroom.
1 shower.
Yeah, in 1 bathroom for the girls. And
The boys are different.
so we take, for example, if you are 3 girls going bath, you wait for the other people to come out.
You shower really fast together?
Yeah, we bath, we use bucket.
A bucket? Okay.
Yeah, bucket. We go to the pump because we have pump in the fence also.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Your
we don't have to go out for water, we have pump
Yeah.
in the
Okay.
fence, we're going to pump out.
And how do you have food? How does the food come?
Oh, our people provide food for us. The
Do they cook
organization.
it or do you cook it?
No, they are cooks in the fence. Sometimes we go in the kitchen and help on Saturday and Sunday. They allow us to cook.
Okay.
And from Monday up to Friday because we are in school,
Uh-huh.
yeah, they cook, do the cooking. But Saturdays and Sundays we cook.
But otherwise you go and then the food comes.
Huh?
Like you sit down and people, then you have the food. You don't have to help during the week.
We need to help others, yes. We should do it voluntarily, but it's not like they are forcing us to do it.
Uh-huh.
Yes, but Saturday and Sundays, because they don't want us just going lazy without knowing anything. Yeah. On Saturdays and Sundays, we have to cook.
How do you get your clothes washed? Do you wash your clothes
Yeah, we wash our clothes
by
outside.
hand outside?
And it's only the little kids, the caregiver wash our clothes.
Okay.
But for us, we wash our clothes.
Okay.
You
what
wash
else
the dishes
happens?
too?
Yeah, we wash the dishes.
And then what else happens? Like, does everybody hang out? Do you watch TV? Like, what how does it go?
No,
At night, what do you guys do?
At night, if we are not going to school, we go to our various dorms and play music. Because we have little players here that will play music on. Yeah, little speakers that will play music on. Yeah.
Okay.
But on celebration days, they turn out the set.
The TV set?
No,
The musical set.
music.
The music set.
Oh, a
Yes.
set of music?
Yeah, set of
and
music.
the musical set in the fence. Then other community children, little children can come and celebrate with us, but we can't go out.
You don't go outside the fence. Like you keep saying the fence. Is that right?
Yeah, they don't go
It's
out
only
for
school.
celebration.
Yeah.
Okay.
They only go out for school.
Oh, okay.
For
When they
celebration,
going-
people come.
When they're going out for celebration, we have to accommodate them with the caretakers. The
Okay.
caretakers will carry them.
And you're one of the caretakers?
No,
No?
I'm the head of the caretakers.
You're head of the caretakers. I got it.
Boss
I
man.
get it. Boss man.
Yeah.
We don't use that word in America, so we like it. Boss man.
Yo,
We just call like the manager or something like that.
manager, yeah.
Boss lady.
What are the youngest kids? How old are they?
Yeah.
6. One little one is 6, and the other one is 9. The little one is a boy. He's 6.
Yeah.
But the other one who is next to him is that girl. She's 9. Other than that,
Okay, so
Are you
just-
the oldest? Like
Yeah,
you're,
they are the oldest.
they're the oldest. You're the oldest.
They are the oldest now.
Of
There's
the
an
kids.
other-
Because they went there, they imagined she was 6 years.
Yeah.
I think he was like 7, 8 years.
Yeah.
He went there, but they are all grown.
Yeah.
yeah, but there are some
So
older kids.
there are some other,
They've
older
left.
yeah, older ones are there too.
No, they are still
Until
in,
what
some are
age?
still in high school.
Huh? What age?
Yeah.
23.
According to the rules of the ministry or the orphanage, they were saying when the children reach 18, we should put them out. But we were saying no.
Yeah.
Too young.
You pick up somebody at the age of 10
Yeah.
and they were like in grade 1,
Yeah. Yeah.
but now they are in grade 10.
Yeah.
Then because they are 18, it doesn't go out.
Yeah.
Who will help them
Yeah.
to come from other high school?
Yeah.
So while they are still there, they are 18 or what, but so long they are picking up, they are learning, and they are willing to go to school, they remain there like them. Like the other people who are above 18, some of them who are waiting to stay there, they graduated from the high school, and then they came to the college. And there are another set of group that are above 18, but they are all in the 11, 12 grade. So we can't tell them,
They're
say,
above 18,
go,
but
go.
they haven't finished. They were
Yeah, they
held
got to
back.
finish.
Yeah.
When they finish
Yeah.
and doing something on their own, then they are enough.
Okay.
Until for now, like your program, she can be coming to our aid to help us too. Because when God help, she be selected. That means she finish getting something by herself
Okay.
to stay on
Yeah.
and help other people too.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So when they graduate from the college, they will be getting something in their hand
Yeah.
that they can work with. At that time, they would think about the mission. They say, oh, we love our little brothers and sisters. Lord, go back and help them.
Yeah.
That's the reason she's
That's
saying
what we wanna
when she
do.
go, she have to come back because she know where she come from.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then like she was telling you, it was like God, although it was selection, but it was like God that took her. Just imagine, there was 2, one brother and her. So they were like playing the ticket, who to stay,
Yeah.
who to go.
So,
The brother that lose the ticket, he's the older one, right? He's the older brother to her, but that brother is stay in a 8th grade, right? 8th grade. But she who was chosen by God, she was just 6 years old in the ABC, and she now how many years old? 17, and she ordered the high school, and she in the university. So it was not bad the people who were making the selection, but she was being chosen by God to stay because God knew she could be part of the family that would make the family way to open, right? Okay, so even when she came to the She Can program to apply, there were 2 sisters. There were 2 sisters that were selected also.
Oh, for the she
For the
interviewed
program.
Yeah.
From the who?
from the orphanage.
Yeah, from the
Came
orphanage, there
from-
was 2. There were 5 that applied,
Yeah.
Okay.
but 2 were selected.
Yeah.
But the 2 came for the program. The first person sat for the first interview.
Yeah.
The second interview, she dropped. She left there.
Yeah.
So, who know?
Here we are. Yeah. How did you do in school? Were you the top in your class? How did
She-
you do in school?
And you know, we were many competitors, but I was like, because in 10th grade I was the highest, 11th grade I was the highest, but 12th grade, and a boy tapped me.
You what? You had a boy above you?
Yeah, I was in 2nd grade.
One boy. above you.
That's all right.
That's pretty darn good.
So you have good grades.
Yeah.
And how about in college? Do you have good grades?
Yeah, in college, the grades they just sent, I got 3 A's and 1 B.
Congratulations. That's good for you.
Do you have any C's in college?
I haven't had any.
Explain again where you live. Like when you're at the college at university, where do you live? Do you still live? Do you go back to Banga or you
No,
stay?
we
you
stay
there,
on the
right?
dormitory.
Okay.
We live
Okay.
on the dormitory.
Okay. So those of you who are in university now live in the dormitory.
Yeah,
But
because
you
the area is far.
Okay, but you're still accompanied when you go away from university.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me make that clear.
Yeah.
They are in the university. They own the dorm. When they are going out, they do things on their own. Like for now, if she being accepted in Shikiam, you guys going to take over from us as guardian for her.
Well, not legally, but we
No,
would be.
not legally.
Yeah. Okay.
Not legally.
Yeah.
So
But
you're
yeah,
going to
Look
take,
after her. Yeah.
you're going to take
If
over
she
from
came
us.
when she comes to the U.S. Yeah.
Even here, while you will be doing it here and we will be doing it. What I'm trying to say, she don't just move a ball, but when she been taken by you, 4 times she came here to the 5th, right? We escorted her. We sit right outside. We went to An Lagoon. We were there outside. We escorted her and took her home because we try to guide her in the process so that she can get the acquired knowledge that she needs in the future.
So when we leave, she has to be independent. Like we aren't watching.
Yeah.
You
We
know.
all will be watching her.
Okay.
But even in the college, they are learning now, they are independent. But anything, they got to consult. That's what they will do in Shikiam. They will have a legal guardian. Anything going wrong, they will ask. So this thing is right, this thing is wrong, and they will tell them the negative and positive. That's what we mean. But you would not just have to be behind her, going from. No, we
won't-
ourselves know.
And we won't even like if she's late. Like she can only be late. We would explain this at the orientation if you were invited. Like if she's late more than 3 times, then she can be eliminated. But we're not watching to make sure she's not late. Like she has to be her own. We call it advocate or her own agent.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what we say.
Okay.
So she
She has
likes
to do
growing
herself.
knowledge.
Yeah, like the girls who won their we have 4 girls who won their scholarships already from last year, but they're off. They do their own thing. You
Yes.
know, we don't know where they are. We dropped a few of them off somewhere. So that you can do that, right? Can you get your way around Monrovia by yourself?
Yes, I can also ask my brothers. They can help.
They can help you. Yeah, and then you learn, and then you know. Yeah.
And then the reason there is, she didn't grow up in Monrovia.
I got it.
So
She's
that's one of the
not-
reasons.
Yeah.
That's one of the
You
reasons.
can't suddenly take her and drop
Yeah,
her.
yeah. That's one of the reasons we always escorting her.
Uh-huh.
But if she was to grow here,
She would learn.
she
Yes,
will learn to do
exactly.
it. So when we get back home to get to the university, she pay her own way to go there. I don't carry her.
Yeah.
So she learning what to do in the time.
Yeah, you're learning where everything is.
And those other girls that she can hang with. You know, the
Yeah.
other she
We'll
can
be
girls.
traveling.
Other she can girls.
Yeah.
Oh, other
That
she,
she
okay,
could
okay.
talk to and learn from. And,
Okay.
You know, that's what happens. Like some girls have had a lot more exposure and some have had a little, but if there's a mix, then the girls that had less exposure learn from
Yeah.
the girls.
And some of them grew up here. They know the area very well.
So,
So,
do you have any more questions?
yeah. So thank you for filling out that financial form.
Oh, right.
The reason we ask those questions, because we know it's very inappropriate for strangers to come and ask very detailed financial questions. But if you were to become a SheCan scholar and apply to college, the university, in order to give you a full scholarship, needs to see all of the financial information. So that's why we ask for it now, so that if there are any questions or things need to look into, you can do that now before you apply. So my one question was, I think with our universities, they want to see the financial information of the legal guardian. Is your legal guardian your mom, or would it be considered like Mayor at the orphanage?
Yeah.
It's our mother near.
Mayor. Okay. Okay. Got it. That makes it very clear.
So
And
it's
this
the
is
me
such a
person.
different situation. I
Yeah.
think we'll
Yeah.
have to
Yeah.
talk to the cop. We will
Yeah,
have
we
to.
will have to ask the college how they want us to handle your situation because it's so specific. They may ask, like, they have something called a non-custodial parent form, and that's basically to say, you know, your mom isn't a wealthy woman who just decided not to take care of you anymore, that your mom cannot financially provide you support and does not financially provide you support, and she would just have to sign saying, like, I do not provide financial support to Myra, or whatever. It's like a form. Does that make sense? That would be the one sort of potential thing. Otherwise, we would just, your legal guardianship is really all that matters. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little complicated.
It's not.
It's
too-
a little complicated.
Just tiny bit.
Yeah.
But we can talk to your legal guardians about it too. Yeah. Okay.
Do you guys have questions?
Do you want to talk a little bit more, Barb, about Myra's leadership experience? Since
Yes.
you weren't really part of the interview process, the number of different things that you've been involved with, how you've actually been a leader in your community, in your orphanage and in your school.
It's okay to brag a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. Don't be shy.
Firstly, my school and where I came from, St. Martin's Catholic High School. I was not part of the political side, but as part of the educational side, I was the captain for the girls quizzing team. Yeah, I was there to organize my team and put more courage in us. Even if we lose or not, we are meant to do it. We should still go for it. And also, I share the subjects because you can't just put burden on one person. If you are the captain, does not mean you take all of it. So I share the various subjects that everyone go and study. Now when we come, we do more practice, and I see all those who are talented or those who are going further, and we take them. Those who are not going further, we drop them. We continue to practice. And
And that's your plan? Like you put that together as the captain?
yes, that's what I do. And also in the orphanage home where I live,
Yeah.
maybe they might have another election now, but he's the president and the vice president.
Good team.
Yeah, so we are like, for example, if our uncle is not there, we are like the next hand. So any problem, they come and bring it to us. And when we see it's higher than us, we carry to the caregivers because they are also over us. So if we look into it, that someone is wrong or someone is not wrong, we carry the case further to the caregiver because they are higher than us. Yeah, but our me and team is to look into the case. If it's right or wrong, who is right, who is wrong. Then the caregiver is the lead person now to either decide the punishment because we're out here. Yeah.
What kind of like problems come up? What sort of issues do you need to solve?
Children who like fighting each other, like making confusion
Like
everywhere.
sisters everywhere.
Like making confusion over common things. Yeah, like just go and take someone copybook, tear it up, or just like that.
Yeah.
All those things. So talking to them. Yeah, and yeah, we underwent about I think 3 community projects. Yeah, the Women Period Project, which is still ongoing, and twice a month. Yeah, we have meeting with the women in the community, talking issues of the period, and also our brother Uncle Kwane, he brings in some pairs for us to share on the women in the period community and educate them on some things because seriously, if there was not going to be any education that they are going to be affected or bad with infection because after we learned that majority of them, some of them slept, they kept the pads on the whole day long. So in observing some other stuff, we brought that idea and we sat on it, we talk about it. We brought in women, we taught them in as much as drinking, read usable price. They should be reading that on it. And also the blood pressure program. Yeah, I also participated in that. That is, the blood pressure is every person has blood pressure, but when it's high, what brings the problem? And besides, sometimes in Liberia, as a superstitious belief is, if you die, as long as you die, simply meaning a witch killed you without even you knowing there's something happening within. So, and blood pressure, high blood pressure is a silent killer. Yeah, it does not tell you it's coming, except you invite it by doing some things that you don't need to do. So we advise those people and tell them the main thing is because blood pressure, it does not really have symptoms, but the high blood pressure. But the main thing is go and search and check your pressure every blessed day. So we did that about 1 month. Yeah, and checking people's blood pressure, telling them to take some exercise, minimizing some too much salt intake or too much oil intake. Yeah, and also the Ebola yeah. And also
This is of the kids in the orphanage?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I clarify one thing? But you also leave the orphanage and you work in the community, right? For some of these projects, the Women's Period Project and blood pressure, you go outside.
Yes,
the
we ask for permission and go out in the community and speak to women. After that, they come in and have because we went out at first, but every 2 days in a month, they come in the fence to see it. We come in
for
they
workshop.
come in the fence, teach them more and more so that they can be reminded. And also during the Ebola crisis, we went out, we told people how to wash their hands and so forth. Yeah, and those were the projects we from.
How far out do you go? When you go out into the community, how far from where you live are you going?
It's me because the community is very large, but mostly we are accompanied by caregivers. So as far as we go, we are accompanied by caregivers.
Right, from the orphanage.
Yeah.
Right. But like, do you get in the car and drive, or do you walk?
No,
outside?
sometimes we walk.
You walk.
Yeah.
So do you walk hours sometimes?
Yeah.
Sometimes a whole day to get somewhere?
Half a day.
Half a day?
Yeah, we walk and go and come back.
And then come back.
Yeah.
And these programs, did you start any of them? Were they started by somebody else and you joined? What was your role in the creation of these programs?
As for us, we specifically the women projects, we were being empowered by Uncle Kwame. We were being empowered by Kwame Kemu. We were being empowered by him. Because after he empowered us, he said we should also go and empower other women because our mother, she's a nurse. After she taught us these things, we thought it was that we should also get other people informed. After we are being informed, yes, as the girls in general. Yeah. But as for the period projects, the children are large. These children, the blood pressure and Ebola. Our mother helped us also.
That's great. It's really important work that you're doing.
So, the other girls that applied, so 4 girls applied. Do you think we made the right choice?
Yes, because anything I believe in, what I believe in, anything that happened, I believe in God. They all applied, and she was chosen. And I still believe that though we didn't make it, they can still apply.
Are the other girls as much of a leader as Myra?
Oh?
The other girl?
The other girls are leader, but when it comes to grading, Myra should be A.
She's the A student?
Yes.
Okay.
They still have some A student among them,
Okay.
but Myra was the best choice.
Best choice?
Some can still come out later because we
Yeah,
still pray
maybe
that they
next year.
will reapply.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Every year.
Really should.
Do you have any questions for us?
Yes.
All right.
When you guys will be leaving?
When are we leaving? Tanya leaves Friday night, and we leave Sunday night.
Sunday.
And I also want to ask, how are you people going to get informed on my project? How will I get you?
Oh, good question. So it's going to be all online. So
Internet.
there will be computers at Smart Liberia that you can use, and we also have some like SheCan laptops that we have here that will have the candidates use. So we'll go into more detail if you're selected later, but essentially we'll have like every couple of weeks we'll ask you to send an update. You'll be in touch with your Take the Lead guide.
Over the
We'll be
internet.
checking in with you. Yeah.
Internet? Do you have internet at the orphanage? Are you,
Yeah,
can you
internet.
type on a computer?
Computer is there.
Yeah?
You have access.
You got access to it, not having it, but you got access.
No.
Yeah. So you don't have a computer, right? Right. Yeah. So
That's
you'll-
okay.
Yeah. So you'll either use one of the computers at Smart Liberia, or you'll use one of the laptops that we leave. I think our scholars have those now to send emails to update your Take the Lead guide on how the project is going.
She have to purchase that on hers. Hmm?
No.
You
No.
give it to her.
It's shared.
Shared.
You share.
Shared.
Okay.
Access.
Okay.
Yes.
But when you did your SheCan application, did you type that up yourself or did someone type it for you?
Someone type it.
Okay. And why did you have someone type it for you?
Because I never had a computer. And besides, I don't have total access to the internet.
Okay. So if we put you in front of a computer, could you have typed it yourself?
I don't have good computer knowledge.
Okay. That's a that could be a big problem. You have to, in order to go to college, you have to be able to use the computer. You can't be in college without, really strong computer skills. Like all the other students, they're like whip fast. You know what that means? Like, woo! On the computer, move things around, boo, 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 boo.
Because they've had them all their life.
They've had them since they were 2 years old, or old enough to like,
Americans.
do you know what I mean?
Not migrants.
Yeah, but here, except you decide to go to computer
How
school.
many times have you worked on a computer?
When we have work, we go to the cafe for people to do it for us on the computer.
Someone else does it for you?
Yeah.
How many times have you typed on a computer? Once?
Maybe only once, though, because we were playing a game on it.
Okay, one time you've been on the computer once,
Yeah.
and you played a game. Okay. So do you understand the keys on the keyboard, where like the A is and the B is and all that? No. Okay. Okay. There's no computers at the orphanage.
The computer, but the computer that is there is like it needs the Wi-Fi. Yeah, so
And you don't have the Wi-Fi.
yeah, so we don't.
But you can you can type on a computer without the Wi-Fi. You would just work on a document that's saved on the computer, and then later you can send it.
Okay, I'll try my best. I'll try my best.
Well, we'll have to talk about that. Yeah.
Do you
Smart
use a
library
phone?
has computers.
Like, do you have a smartphone that you use? Or?
Phone.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Do you use the internet on the phone?
Yeah.
How do you do that? Like, do you type in on the phone?
Yes, I can type in. I can write it.
So that's some digital experience. Computer is very important.
It's very important. Like, that might be something you would have to really work on.
Practice.
Yeah.
It's practice. Yeah. And Smart Liberia, the way that their Smart Liberia classes work is they have laptops for everyone in the classroom, and you practice doing all your SAT practice online. So you would if you were in the program, you would jump on a computer like your first day, and
They would say,
start
do this,
working.
this, and this. So you would, even before your first day, which would be soon, you would have to learn. Someone would need to sit down and take you through that so that you wouldn't be lost, because all the other girls are going to be trying to do their own thing.
Darren, can you help with this at the orphanage?
To do
So
what?
it sounds like Myra needs to learn to use the computer. Are there computers that you could give her access to at the orphanage that she could start practicing?
Practicing.
Yes, we will try to do that. with
How many
family,
computers
right?
are there?
We can try to do that.
How many computers are
Yeah.
at at the orphanage?
No,
Where
at
she
the
lives?
orphanage, we only have 3 there now. But they at the university here, they're right here. I think I have 1 or 2. They have 2 at the university. So she will start to practice.
And you know, the U.S. Embassy, you can go between the hours of 10 and
Yeah, it's so far.
it's
So
too
far.
from the university that
Yeah.
she's at. Okay.
What about the centers that they have? Are there any that are out closer?
No, I don't know. Where's Kakata
They can
compared
live
to
on
you?
wheel too.
Is Kakata close?
Hmm?
We're in Habel.
It's what?
I said we are in Habel.
Right.
Where's
I don't so know that. Where's Kakata in relation to where you are? Far.
Canada is far from where we are.
Far.
Okay. Then,
Excuse me, the brother,
yeah.
Apaja. Apaja will help her get through.
You help her learn to use it.
Do you know how to
Yeah,
use a
then from
computer?
there she will
Yeah,
come.
try.
Yeah.
You try?
Yeah.
How many times have you been on a computer?
More than 10 times.
Yeah.
10 times?
More than.
More than 10.
She's a smart girl. She will not take long to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She will not take long to get there. The higher thing to get her a computer at all.
And young people learn fast.
Yeah.
Faster than older people.
Yeah. So when we get a computer for her, Abadia will walk her through and she will start to do it by herself.
Yeah.
Okay. Any more questions?
So I don't have questions.
I'm okay. We've
So
spent a
at
lot of time
university,
together.
do they make you write papers in university?
Which papers?
Do you have to write a paper at your university? Is that part of the program?
Is it an assignment to write a
Like,
paper?
you're in college, right?
Something like this.
Do they make you write papers in college?
Essay.
Essay?
Essays?
Yes, sometimes.
By hand?
By hand? You don't put it in a computer? It's only by hand?
Yeah.
No one has.
Yeah.
Of course, it's by hand.
It's
By hand, but if they want you to do it with a computer, they will send you to the cafe.
want a
You go pay
cafe,
money and someone do it for you.
I don't pay
You
me.
pay for
So
someone
you
else.
pay for someone to write it,
Yeah.
do it on the computer?
Yeah.
Even if you have the computer, you will also do it on the computer. You carry it to the cafe, they print it or you pay them.
Yeah.
Because you don't have
The printer.
the printer.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions?
No, I think I'm good. Yeah, thank you for coming all this way
Yeah.
and taking the time to chat with us. We're sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, is it okay if we get a photo of the three of you
Yeah.
together?
You get a photo.
Great.
Okay.